Dominik, please describe the startup activities of Holtzbrinck Group.
Okay, well, we're Holtzbrinck Digital. We are the strategic investor of the group. That means we invest in focused fields, and one of them is digital health. And we usually look for later stage companies, so we're not doing seed investments, and especially nothing before that. So we're looking at startups with commercial proof, but we're not acting on a corporate strategy from Holtzbrinck. We're more or less free in the field of digital health, what we're doing or what we can do.
How do you select the startups which would fit your portfolio?
Well, we had some very good learnings in the last 2 years. We have one portfolio company, NetDoctor.de, which is an online health portal for patients since 2007. So we already learned from that a lot in the patient-oriented space and a lot in patient education. And from that, we basically took out and segmented other fields. And we're obviously looking a lot at content-driven business models, but not in the sense of online journalism especially, but it can be anything on content. And the good thing is that health is a very information-driven space. Yeah, so you need a lot of knowledge whenever you're sick or when you don't want to be sick. And so that's why we put a lot of focus on content, for example.
Are all these companies geared towards B2C?
They all have a C in them, yeah. NetDoctor obviously is B2C, although they are also selling their content to pharma companies and health insurances. But from that, we evolved a little bit also to B2B2C, obviously, because in healthcare we think B2B2C is at the moment the way to go. B2C models are still very niche, especially in Germany, and especially as we're not looking into wellness and fitness, where obviously there's a lot of B2C happening. But I wouldn't say that we would exclude B2B. In contrary, actually, we're looking more into B2B right now because we think there's more business to do in Germany right now.
What are the trends you're currently observing out there?
Well, recently, I think it's not a trend in terms of the segments that are evolving. It's more in terms of the quality of startups and the quality of founders. And I'm obviously referring to Germany. So in the first wave of digital health, which I say is 0.1, yeah, you had a lot of basic marketplaces and content, very thin content portals, not a lot of value add. And right now you're observing that a lot of tech entrepreneurs and serial entrepreneurs are getting into healthcare, and they have been with Rocket Internet or other execution-driven, technology-focused startups and company builders, and they're now going into healthcare, and this raises the quality of the startups. And at the same time, there's also a lot more medical students or recent graduates coming into entrepreneurship, and this raises the quality as well.
What about the trends, if I may call them content trends, out there in the market that you are not seeing, that you would be expecting?
Yeah, well, we made an investment last year in Pflege.de, which is in senior care, and they were also a marketplace. And through them, we also discovered that senior care is just so underrepresented in the healthcare space, especially online and especially in content. And so right now we're working with them to evolve into a real broad content player. That's senior care is very important.
And you would be expecting embracement by seniors for these kinds of products?
Absolutely, absolutely. So it's I think it's a prejudice that old people don't use technology, and I think there's a lot of value add that can be brought via technology to elderly people, especially as they don't have to actively use it. I don't know if people always think about old people sitting there and using their smartphone all the time. It's not that way. It could also be passive monitoring systems or stuff like that. So definitely I see this, yeah.